Hey guys, today's 3 items, this is a You+Me, same 3. Today's 3 items comes from a Instagram follower, Marissa O'Neill, and I will make sure to post her. Riss from the Bronx is her IG name. I will link it down below. So we put out a call, Michelle and I put out a call on Instagram for anyone who wanted to send us 3 items, and so far we've gotten 4 envelopes, and we went in the order in which we received the envelopes. And so these 3 items are what Marissa sent us. Thank you so much, Marissa. We are late getting, we didn't do one for December. Just Michelle was on vacation. My schedule's been crazy. So we decided to go ahead and put out an extra one, for January for you guys. So here's the 3 items that we have. Let's see what in the world I can come up with. Da 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 da. Alright guys, so let's get busy with these 3 items. If you've never watched this on a You+Me Same 3 video before, it's a collaboration between myself and Michelle over on her channel called You+Me. I will link her video to this below. So thank you so much for joining me today. This is a one-off, as I alluded to, because of our busy schedules and the holidays and vacations and all the things that happens, right? So I will say, Marissa, you stumped me a little bit with that girl with the beautiful dress on and no head. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to go directly in with crinkling up some things. Sometimes you just have to be ballsy. Is that politically correct these days? Who knows? Anyway, if you watch my channel for any amount of time, politically correct is not how I roll. So I'm just going with the flow, as I always do, using some inks, which is something that I tend to forget that I actually have in my arsenal of yummy goodness and supplies. And the crinkles are going to do really great magic. And I'm just getting some color. That was pesto. Well, if you know my channel, I just go, I know that blue is going to be Stream, and y'all know how I roll. I'm not going to link it down below, so I'm not even going to tell you that I am. You can check the Amazon links below. I do believe that I have some dilutions and some inks, but, you know, if you really want to know the color, yeah, I may remember to put them down there, but don't count on it. So now that we've got that out of the way, I love how the crinkle effect really gave this some really cool color onto all of the pieces. And I'm going to be using my Mishmash glue book. If you don't know what the Mishmash glue book is, well, go watch that video. It's a really fun little, I think this was like a time card thing. I'm not really remember now what the booklet was for, but it was like a little daily diary from one of you amazing followers. You guys always hook me up with some of the coolest stuff. I do appreciate it. And that's what I decided to do, is just make this into a glue book, and you can go watch that video. I will link that up above. So if you have a few seconds, go ahead and check that out. I'm just going in with all of the papers that she sent, and now I am puzzled because I have this yummy dress with no head. That makes for a pretty cool like conversation with inside my brain, like what in the world am I supposed to do with that? But you know what, I just listen to the intuition and it walks me through, and I'm going in with the gesso. That is the Deco Arts Media gesso, my most favorite gesso out there, and I'm liking how this is looking. So I've talked about it several times about making sure that if something doesn't have a lot of depth to it, or maybe it looks a little flat, always finding the darks and lights. So adding gesso or white paints and adding some darker colors. Like you see here, I'm using the Lyra Graphite Water Soluble Pencil. I know Prima has some of those out as well. And then I'm tinkering around with what to do with this dress. And I've decided, because guess what? I found a ruler. that doesn't happen every day in my house. I found a ruler, and so I'm just tearing off some of those white outer edges. And I like the tear better than I like the scissor in that edge. And then I decided that actually I am going to fussy cut this. So, a little update. I talked about my dog Sadie recently, diagnosed with cancer. She has passed away. We lost her about a week ago. So, if you guys saw my posts on Facebook or Instagram, I appreciate all your prayers as we have journeyed through this transition. It is still, we're still working through it. So, she was my little buddy, and oftentimes she would pop up and kind of make noises in the background, so we will miss her very much. And I'm kind of tinkering with some of the like cutouts and kind of how can I make this work? What do I want to do? She doesn't have a head. How am I going to kind of go with this? And I'm working through it. I decided I kind of like the idea of like having a fabric type of head. Also, if you've ever taken a workshop with me face-to-face or online, I talk about not having floating people or floating objects that are your focal. It's a TIFF thing. Other people do it. It's totally cool. It's just visually, I like to have some grounding in my piece. And so I decided to add I go off camera here. Just hang with me, guys. I decided to add the Lyra Graphite. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Payne's Gray. That's Lucas Payne's Gray. The L word is killing me today. And I'm going in with some Neo color just to see if I can get that dark edge over there to stand out a little bit since I did the fussy cutting thing. But the grounding with the very dark areas at the bottom and then adding that Payne's Gray, in my brain, it just works better than it would if I just stuck this dress down with nothing. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense as to why I wanted to ground it out and kind of create heaviness at the bottom of it. So again, guys, I am not a professionally trained artist. I do this because it's fun, and sometimes I don't know the right words to say, so just bear with me. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. I am going around with the white Neo Color 2 crayon just to create some contrast between the background and her dress, because she is kind of the focal. I did use the staple to put what her face would have been. It's a little weird, I understand. Marissa sent me a picture of a dress with no head, so weird stuff happens. And I had written working through again with the loss of Sadie, and I feel like I've kind of been disconnected from my art practice. Disconnected. I thought the head missing, disconnected was a great word to use. I wrote that on some masking tape, and it was actually like on a little giblet pile. And so I just grabbed that off and used it. And now it's going to appear as if though I am done. And I took pictures, and I'm telling you this because if you're at a point where you're like, oh, this is probably done, I have that feeling inside my bone. Okay, we're not going there today, Tiff. I decided to take pictures to do my little thumbnail, and it just didn't float my boat. So I came back. Here we are again. I'm going to take gesso and really disconnect the dress from the background. And it's really subtle, but I like it a lot more than I did because I felt like there was too much competition and it was too busy. And the weird dress lady, is not really standing out. So using the words disconnect, I wanted to make sure that she was really the focal point of this. And so I just went in with some gesso. Because I use those spray inks, it does kind of bleed through, so it's not like stark white. It's just kind of like fades away. So again, thank you so much, Marissa, for sending us these 3 items. Go over, make sure you check out Mickelnay's channel to see what Michelle decided to do with her 3 items today. And until next time, guys, toodaloo! Oh yeah, don't forget, click the subscribe, leave me a comment, give me the thumbs up. You know the drill. Love y'all. Toodaloo!